Hey, what's going on there, YouTubers? Alright, this should have been the intro. It's actually after the job's done, but the title of this video is does your Acura TL engine make a squeak? If it does, which mine doesn't anymore, because I fixed it, well, chances are likely it might be your tensioner, bearing, or, in my case, it was actually the alternator. Now, the alternator spun freely by hand, so you might need a load on it with the belt and everything to make the noise. So don't be fooled if you disconnect your serpentine belt, which is spinning right there. It's hard to see it, but don't be fooled if you disconnect your belt, turn the engine on, your squeak goes away, and then you turn your alternator or your tensioner pulley by hand, and you can't replicate the noise because, in my case, there had to be some certain variables like a belt being connected, maybe a load on the alternator for it to induce the squeak. So, anywho, just quick background about myself, in case you're wondering if you have a squeak or you got to replace your alternator or your tensioner pulley, if you should do it. I say go for it. Say watch videos, look for the tools that you need. I try to list all the tools that I use for this job. It's always nice to have two people. Definitely have an owner's manual if you have one. YouTube really kind of helps though, but it's your main car. Try and do it on a weekend. Make sure you got all your parts. Like, I mean, everything you need. Don't depend on AutoZone or Pet Boys or whoever, Kragen, Napa having your stuff. See everything in the manual, the parts list that you might need. Order what you think you're going to need, and in the end, I got a good deal from my friend who has a shop, but I spent like $260 on a new tensioner, on a new belt, and a new alternator. Denso. So, pretty good deal. But if you would have done that at a shop, the job probably took me about, some trials and tribulations, it took me about 3-4 hours altogether. But it was fun. I learned a lot, and it was a lot easier putting the thing back in when I figured out how to take it out. That was the hardest part, actually. If you get a bad back like I do, it's going to be a pain. So again, try and get a friend to help you out. Biggest thing is trying to get that tensioner pulled back to get your old belt off, or the one you're replacing. If you are replacing it, that's the hardest part. It's nice to have a friend get in there and just wrench on it, and you go in there and remove the belt. Just make sure he doesn't slip the wrench and something goes bam on your fingers, because that would suck. Anywho, like I said already in this video, which you'll see again unless I edit it out, I worked at a shop for 6 years while I was going to school. So I bought that car when I was working at the shop back in like 2001, Carmen Gia. Still have it, but I'm about to start working on it now. Projects, they can last forever, and no problem with that, right? You only live once. So worked at a shop. That's where I got basically my basic mechanic skills, knowledge. Owning a house, learned a lot there too. And then in the Marine Corps for 20 years, working on aviation maintenance. So I got a pretty good background, understanding of how things work, how things connect, and whatnot. If you don't have that, don't be scared. Again, just watch videos. If it's something that's beyond your capabilities, ask someone who's smarter than you. It's just simple. Or if you have to, pay someone. Which I try never to do that. I try to do it myself if I can, unless I'm in a pinch or I don't have the tools. Sometimes buying the tools for a job you're going to do once or twice in your life, it's not worth it. So just think about that. And anyway, I'll put this video up, and if you guys got any questions on what I did, by all means, hit me up. I don't got notification on my email, so I don't really see them that much. I just kind of go every couple weeks and check it out. I'll try to respond, but hopefully this video helped you determine if you want to try and tackle the job yourself. And hopefully you do, because I'm going to sleep pretty good tonight knowing that I fixed it myself. Alright guys, take care. Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is Kyle here. And today we're going to be doing my 2012 Acura TL 3.5 liter alternator. This little guy right there. Basically had a kind of like if you've ever been in a car, older cars with radio interference, when you step on the gas and you get that high-pitched squeal. It's pretty much what it was. So disconnected the serpentine belt from the accessory drive loop, and turned on the engine, and the noise went away. So I originally thought it was had turned the pulley here, had turned the original alternator, and pretty much got the same noise you got here, but just figured there was a little bit of slop, left, right slop, which even this one has a little bit, but when you spin this one, it actually feels like there's grease or something. You know, the bearings are new and kind of tighter. The other one spun real free. So anyway, replace this bad boy, 80 some bucks. Right now it's got the Allen wrench in there for the lock back control. So once I put the alternator in, I can hook up the belt, which is way down there. Anyway, so got this car kind of disassembled. Figure I'd just put it back together and try and show you guys how it goes back together. Getting it apart, yeah, probably could have done that, but I had to bust out my GoPro and charge up batteries, which I'll probably plug it back in here intermittently when I need to just prop it up here somewhere on the hood so you guys can see what I'm doing, so the batteries don't run out. Had to order another one on Amazon, so that'll be here tomorrow. Anyway, I'm just gonna show you guys a couple things, like what I don't know how close this thing should be, but some of the tools that I got here that I've used on the job is a 10mm wrench, 14mm, 15mm. This long one here is really just I tried to use it for some leverage to get it up in the fork here of the 14 when I was moving the tensioner back. So if you had a combination, like this is 13-15, so if they had like a 12-14mm like this, or even longer, this is probably 10 inches or so, you'd be set, because turns out that I actually use this no, take it back, I use this 22mm, and I put the basically slid this guy in here, put it on the tensioner, and had to use this thing to apply torque to it, because it was just a bugger, being brand new especially. So anyway, I had to use this guy and this guy to get one of the wires holding the alternator off before I pulled it out, and I also dropped the nut and I had to use the mirror and the magnet and the flashlight to find it. Typical sockets, I just got a socket set over there with some small extensions, 1/4 inch drive, 3/8 inch drive, you know, 12, 14mm, 10mm seems to be the normal socket size. Large extension, because when I actually had to pull the alternator out, I had to get, I don't know if this is the ECU or what is it, I don't even know what it is. It's got a Continental sticker on there, so maybe it has something to do with the traction control, TPMS, no idea, but there's 3 plugs in here, and I had to use this long extension to get the 10mm bolt off that bracket, and so I could get this and kind of move it out of the way to slide the alternator up this way. I even took this bolt off here. I didn't take it off all the way, it was actually really hard, and I had a ratcheting 10mm, and only got it out about a 3/8 of an inch, and I loosened this, took this off so I could pull, actually, you know, pull this hose a little bit like this. It helped. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary, but it's what I did, and it worked. So I also took off this guy, which holds it's a radiator brace, and kind of don't think I needed to take that off in the end, because I was going to try and slide it up here, and it was originally just to try and move this, but it doesn't really go back any further. So don't take that off if you end up doing this job yourself. I did take off the coolant reservoir, because that was down here and just lets you get more room inside. If you do end up putting in a new serpentine belt tensioner, I would recommend putting tape all over it. I'm OCD, so I got some marring on this new one, which probably will be okay. I might take a 500 grit, 800 grit sandpaper and just kind of get some of the little rough edges off, but that's just my OCD. And yeah, we'll see what we got here, trying to put this bad boy back in there. Probably be a lot of swearing and stuff, and I might just put some music over it and do a little quick time lapse. So without further ado, I guess that's going to be it pretty much. And yeah, I don't know if you see the old girl over there, CC Cop Candy, it's Instagram handle, but she's going to a new owner pretty soon. Gonna miss her, but gonna be putting a car lift in that garage with epoxy flooring, and trying to work on that Carmen Ghia, and then this 1990 Volkswagen Corrado in there. That's a supercharged 4-cylinder. So got some more toys to play with. Had CC for about 2.5 years, and just don't drive her, so gonna give her up to a new owner. Anyway, we're working on Becky. Her name is Becky because she got a big old boot, for those of you that know the Acura TLs. All right, so let me plug this bad boy in here. Power. And let's see where the best angle would be. I guess I can just put this thing here. And then, let's see. I think we'll go ahead and angle it down. Maybe I'll even put it right here. See if I can. Just give you guys a little bit more of a bird's eye view of what I'm doing. So hopefully it doesn't fall over. I think that looks good. And then got some beer. Got some Ale Smith. A little sour for any of you that like sours. Here, Becky, hold my beer. All right. So one thing I was going to say was this: the alternator. Actually, if you take it out, I should have taken. There's a little clip here that holds. Where did it go? Holds the AC. I guess that's the exciter wire for the clutch, but it holds the cable down in there. So I actually didn't take it off before I turned in my old one for the core. So I'm gonna figure out. Maybe what I'll do is just throw a zip tie. Once it's down there, I'll throw a zip tie. Actually, I think I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna get a zip tie and put it in here, so that way it'll hold the cable. So, bear with me 1 second. All right, so I guess see if this one would even fit. Nope. No, that one's not even going to fit. Let me get a smaller one then. Alright, so as you get older you learn. Got two of these things just in case this one wasn't going to work out. And I think I should put it the other way, but nah, that'll work. I'll leave it just like this for now. I should be able to get that that clip through. Let me just test it. Let's see here. Can I get it through? Nah, let's just clip it. I'll barely even put the other one on there. Trash. So I'll do that here. Well, yeah, I'm gonna learn. Let's do it the other way actually. So I want to be able to pull this thing as I get it in the car, and it's going to be just one little tiny clip. There we go. Will that work this time? I hope. There we go. That should work. Okay. As long as I don't inadvertently push it in tighter. Alright, another thing. Didn't do this when I took it off. Make sure if you're going to turn your alternator in that you take off this bracket right here. Because, luckily my buddy did. I basically would have lost this bracket if he didn't probably take it off and put it back on my new one before he turned in the old one. So take it off, try and save a little bit more room, and here we go. So what I did last time was just pulled it up from here, basically slid it down here, and okay, you got to make sure. I don't know if you can see this, but there's basically, hopefully this thing doesn't fall, you got to get the bottom of the alternator to slide in right here, and you might, this thing's kind of one of those, I don't know what they call them, not a shuffle pin, but you can slide basically with tension. If I can't get it in, what I might try to do is see if I could lightly tap it with a small hammer, maybe a copper face hammer, to try and get that pin to push out. Like when you're doing brake calipers, you push the pistons in to allow the new rotors to go in there. So it's kind of the same concept. We'll see what I can do. What the camera say? Stay there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Bring it up closer. And by the way, the car is battery disconnected, so no fear of shocking myself or shorting out or anything.
Hey, Daddy.
What's up, buddy?
Brayden said they're not packing up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not going to bug them, though, because Michelle's probably going to clean her house, buddy, for listing, okay?
And they said they're not cleaning their house.
Yeah, that's okay.
They're going to do it when they sell it.
I see. Thanks, bud. Anywho, so this thing here is already being a booger. But, oh, there we go. Ooh, I think I figured it out. All right, let me show you guys this trick here. Let me try and get this camera off and see if I can. There's this pipe right here, which I don't know if it's part of the AC system. Yeah, it's part of the AC system, so it's basically your high pressure side. Little tiny pipe. So be careful when you're moving things around. You don't bend stuff inadvertently, cause yourself more problems. But let's see here. I'm gonna adjust this camera, so hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I got the alternator just kind of sitting here. Careful, you don't want to rub on the belt too. You don't want to cause any damage. So I'm just gonna move this pipe with my left hand, and the whole thing just kind of slides down in there. And then, boom, there you go. And let me get my light. See if I can shine it down there. So it's right there, right? It's kind of hard to see it, but the alternator, that part I was telling you about, it goes right into that bracket. So now will be the fun part, to see if I can actually get it in there without having to, you know, try and beat on that little slide spacer, whatever you call it. So try and put some lights down here. Actually, let's put this on my head, and then you guys can see what I'm looking at. And move that thing there. Is it gonna slide in there? No, it's not gonna go in there. So I might have to hit that thing out. All right, so let's take a pause here. Let's take a training time out, and yeah, I messed that up too much. I don't know if I can put some lube on it or anything to get it in there. Now let's take it out. Don't want to fight it. For those of you that got bad backs, man, thank the Marine Corps for my bad back. Oh, God bless the Marine Corps. I love you. Anyway, let's take this thing back out. So now this is basically the part that I didn't get to show you. I didn't record it. Be careful of the tensioner pulley. Basically pull it out the same way you put it in. So bend this little pipe out the way. Just kind of wiggle it around. And there's like a sweet spot. That, yep, there's a sweet spot. Here we go. Okay, so let's put the alternator down. Now, I think what I'm going to try to do is, let's get the bolt. Problem is, I don't want to break that. I don't want to break that ear off that bracket either. That's going to be tricky. So let me get a little tiny hammer and see what we can do. All right, so I'm going to get a little tiny bolt because I don't want to. Damage the face of that. Probably not going to work. I don't have a lot of leverage there. I wonder if I could. I can't do that. No, I can't use that one. Let's see. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll pause it and I'll try and figure out a workaround somehow. Alright guys, so here's my workaround. It's always good to keep, you just never know when you're going to need them random hardware that you find in other jobs, or if you build something from IKEA and you totally forget one and leave a couple behind, or they give you extra, put them in a bin somewhere. It's nice to keep them organized. Nuts, bolts, washers, easier to find. Anywho, so basically what I did was I found a socket that goes over the, oh, good thing I checked on this one. What size is this? 17, it's not going to work. Let's go to 19. So, yep, 19 millimeter. That looks like it's, yep, I got slack left and right. Should be good. So you put that over the, let me show you guys down here real quick. I don't want to lose this stuff. So, there we go, right? Oh, shoot. Luckily I found right where I can get it. Anywho, if you guys can see it here, this thing will go right over the slider spacer thingamajigger. I'm going to put in my. See if I can take you guys along for a ride. Shoot, stupid thing's gonna be in my way. Maybe. If you're down here, you guys can be all up in it. Yeah, there you go. You guys are good to go. All right, so let me get that my magnet and get the nut out. Oh, what's that? That's a non son of a bitch. What the hell? Well, that sucks. Okay, where did it go? Where did it go? That's the question. Where did it go? Did it fall under the GoPro? I don't know. I don't see it anywhere. Yeah, I don't see that stinking thing. Alright. Let's see if I can do some magic here. This thing. Where the hell did it go? Did it fall down here? Dang it. See? It's made of a mirror and a flashlight. So that way you can find stuff that you drop. But you know what? To be honest with you, I think I'm going to be just looking for another screw at this point. Catch you. Alright, so I'm back. Anyway, as I was saying, I had to put another nut, not a screw. Alright, so the problem I think with this design is going to be I don't have any way to secure and hold the top of this bolt. So just hope that the pressure alone will keep it firm against the socket. I'm going to put a washer on over here on this side, and then my 10 millimeter nut right here. I don't even know if this is going to work, but we'll try it. Did I say 10? I think I meant to say 11. Yep, it's an 11 millimeter. So if you see closely, the socket was getting pulled onto the, oh yeah, that piece. And it looks like the bolt's not even rotating, so that's good. And I'm actually, if you can see it, I'm actually getting that little spacer thing to slide. So, looks like I'm successful here in my backyard mechanics. What's up, bud?
I either saw a hawk or a bald eagle.
Ooh, make sure they don't get our chickens, okay? Yeah.
It was all over.
Cool. Cool, buddies. Thanks for telling me. Yes, America right there, man. I don't think we got bald eagles. Maybe a hawk, though. Alright, so, yeah. So now you guys see what I did. I'm going to put the camera up because it's hard to do this with one hand holding the camera. See if you guys can still see it down there. I know it's kind of, I'm trying to project it on with my my phone, so I don't know how, it's not clear on my phone. Hopefully it's clear and you guys can see it. And keep in mind, you guys can fast forward, pause, replay, do whatever you want. I'm not going to edit this thing too much. Anyway, I'll keep this guy on the side in case we need it. Alright, let's see if I can get that alternator in there. So let's go ahead and put this thing back in here. Right here. Right here. You guys can't see too much, can you? Let's see better this way. Oh, that's in the way. Yeah, let's just put it right here, I guess. Just gonna put this back in, and this will be stable. Let me do that right quick. Finger tight, but lesson learned, if you do it finger tight, chances are likely that you're gonna forget. So let's not take that risk. And let's put these guys in. What's going on there? Okay, I think those are probably going to be 12 millimeters, I think. Yep, 12 mil. There we go. I tried to pull it back just to make sure there's positive tension on this thing. Don't want it really bouncing around in there. And there we go. That's good. Alright, so now I can put this thing right there and show you guys the struggle with this alternator. It should work now. Okay, so I'm going to move this low pressure line to the side, drop this thing in there. Okay, now here's the tricky part. You got to move that high pressure line, that little tiny one, kind of get this thing canted, turned it the right way. If you can see how I've got the terminal, cable terminal here, got this ear over here. Now I'm just going to kind of move it up and over, and then move this high pressure line over as well and drop it in there. In theory, so this, and I think yeah, there we go. Rotate it up. Oh yeah, slide the high pressure line over. See the clearance I got right here, and I'm just basically gonna muscle it, finagle it around, slide this big old hose over, and maybe not. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now if you can see, get it in here without jacking up my fingers. Okay, there we go. I'm in there now. In like Flynn. If you can see it down there. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but I'm in. It's free playing, free moving. So what I'm going to do now is get the bolt and slide the bolt in there. Get this thing out the way. Sounds bad because it's old and whatnot. Alright, so I'm going to get the bolt in here. I think before I tighten anything down, I'll put the wires on it. But get the bolt, find the hole, find that hole, there it is. Probably about, I don't know, how old am I, 38, 28, 18, maybe 24 years of practice. Still can't get it right the first time. So yeah, I'm just putting that bolt in here, and it really helps if you lift up, take some of the pressure off the alternator, just kind of wiggle it around. Use your left hand to hold it up if you're a righty, and use your right finger to tighten it. And then now it's pretty tight against that slide bushing because I pulled it out. Now I got to put my bracket on here. Where'd my bracket go? This bracket right here, because this bracket's gonna go right here. So you see here, how does this bad boy work? Yeah, this looks like it goes right here. This part's going to go into the block. I apologize, it's going to go right here. So I'm going to put this down through here, tighten that one. I don't know what size that is. Let me see real quick. That's probably a, it's probably going to be a 12 as well. Yep. Yeah. That's a 12 as well, so I'll get my extension in case I need it. And I'll put that here. Losing light fast, so got to work quickly, my friends. Okay, before I even do this, I think I'm going to hook up the cables. So, not these cables, these cables. The biggest one was, if you recall, little dude down there, black zip tie. It plugs in right down there. Let's see here, get the flashlight. kind of see it. It's pretty simple. It's their 8-year-old car, so it's already molded to the... Oh shit, of course I forgot to put the zip tie on it. Actually, not a big deal, because you know why? I'm going to get another one and just throw it around the side right there. I think that'll work. See if you look at me real quick here. Here's the garage. 67 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. Another project. You'll see that bad boy. Got some original 914 Porsche rims, polished and clear coated, a little dirty. Let's go into this big old Craftsman. Just got this bad boy for a little present to myself for no reason, just because it was awesome and I saw it at Lowe's. What was it? My birthday, June. That's what it was. Yeah, birthday present to myself. Had a little half the size one. This one's like 55 inches or something, 56 inches. Loves it. Turns out I sold my other one to a sailor squid for some of you. Good guy though. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Basically, do some backyard mechanics and help kids scooters out here. Basically, you just it's always fun. Get this guy down here, and I'll put it through there if you can see it. I don't know if you can. I'm gonna take the tip, and put it through. Oops, where'd it go? Yep, there we go. Take the tip and put it through the. No, you can't see what I'm talking about. I don't think you can't see. There it is. Oh, come on, man. These damn zip ties. Yep, there we go. Alright, so. Okay, so we got one right here. I got this guy right here. Yep. And then this guy gonna go right there. I don't live in South Carolina, so I don't know what I'm talking like. I'm from South Carolina. But, things looking mighty nice. I think that'll work. What do you guys think? I think that will appease the car gods enough. I'll move this one out of here. It's tight. Yeah, should be good. Do a little clippy. Uh-oh. Battery's gonna die. Let's plug this bad boy in here. Alright, there we go. So, wire cutters. I don't leave trash in my car, minus that nut that fell down, which I'll never find. Hopefully it won't fall on the freeway and crack someone's windshield, because I'd be pissed. I will try to do a shakedown, maybe some aggressive driving, just loosen it in my neighborhood. See if I can find it. Where the hell did this go? Okay. What's going on here? I can't cut that thing? Oh, now that fell down. Trash is behind me. Alright, so I got that one on. Now, the next one here is just this little guy. And they're really foolproof, because if you look right here, there's a square side right here, square side right there. You can't mess that one up. Call it marine proof. Hoorah. For all you jarheads out there. And even you jarhead haters. I know you're out there too, lurking. It's important too, these call them dust covers, right? Dust cover boots. But really, in actuality, call that a freaking, not that you should be getting water up in here, but for those guys like me that do randomly, well, you can't tell this car, but randomly hose your engine bay down with some simple green pressure washer or light hose. Cover that bad boy up. This is more of just a dust boot, but I would always wrap my alternator and anything else that's really sensitive that doesn't have positive water permeation protection, aka a seal. I would cover those things so they don't get wet. And even then with the bag, you know, I'll take it off and I'll blow dry this thing with my air pressure, just to make sure I get all the residual moisture out. Okay, this bad boy, it's got a collar. Do not, I'll be honest with you, I had lost this thing when I took it off. So I grabbed it and it flew out of my hands. I'm gonna do it this way. Work smarter, not harder. Put it right here, on the magnet. Boom. There we go. And she's in. Okay? So, you don't want to drop that like I did because that one sucked big time. Let's take this extension here. Let's go ahead. Again, the car is disconnected, so that'll be the last thing that I do once everything's buttoned up. Hopefully my squeak goes away, because if not, I got a new tensioner, I got a new belt, and I got a new alternator, which we're almost getting close to 100,000 miles. That's okay. I think I needed it. And here we go. Alright, so that's on there. And then I'm supposed to have a, let's see. I don't think it's up in my, I'll put it on later after I torque this on, but there's a little 10mm that secures that harness on there. Alright, so let's see if we can get this in there. Now this one is loose. You're going to have to move it up and down to align with the hole as you're going in. Here we go. You heard it click as it goes into the block to the head. So that's in there. This one's kind of a booger too, but you get that 12. I think it's a 12. And just hold the shaft. Hold the shaft while you're cranking it. And let's see if I can bring this camera over here. I know it's kind of a pain switching and stuff. I want you guys to see. Oops. I want you guys to see. Oh, hold on. I'm messing up my GoPro. Yeah, I definitely want you guys to see what's going on here as I try and button up this car, so that will get a better idea. Because it is, for somebody that might be scared to do this, try and help you out. In my background too, I retired from the Marine Corps, 20 years in aviation. I was an AO on F-18s, CH-46s, Ospreys, which you don't really do much there, and then Hueys and Cobras. And then I worked at a German Volkswagen restoration shop when I was going to college, about 6 years, if you ever heard of German Motor Works in Garden Grove, California. Worked for Greg and Arda and learned most of my stuff from them. So I'm pretty confident in what I do. A lot of stuff I still gotta watch YouTube just because technology, things are new, and I want to see what's going on out there before I think I know what I'm doing. No harm in that. Okay, so I got the bolt on top. I got the one on the bottom I still have to do. And then this one right here, which goes to the, let me show you guys. This guy, right there. This one is the bracket holder. So it's on the ear of the alternator, and it's the bracket. And I'm just going to do a German torque on that bad boy. Boop. Got to be careful you don't break that aluminum. So now, before I forget, I have to get that guy down there. I think that was a, what was that? Looks like a 15 to me. It's probably why I have this giant, is that a 15? Wait. No, it's a 14. It's like 14s and 12s here is what they liked. Alright, so this one, it's going to feel like your, it's going to feel like it's tight, but it's really not because you or I moved that little spacer out. And so you just got to keep cranking on it. You will know when it actually gets tight, but it's actually sliding back in, closing against the frame of the alternator that I showed you in the very beginning of the video. Ooh, now it's tight. Okay, so it's pretty much collapsed all the way, and I think that's my German torque right there. That's good. All right, so put this one on right here. So this one right here goes right here. I think that's a 10 mil, so let me get my little 10 mil You can maybe see that the hose might be blocking it. Let's see here. 10 mil, 10 mil. My 10 mil go. Huh? 10 mil? Fall out? Oh, there it is. You see that right there? And you can see it right there. Just get that guy tight. Tight down that little plastic. It's got a metal insert, so you're not going to break the plastic, but don't kill it. It's not structural or anything. It's just to secure the wire. Alright, so now let's do this Continental contraption. I'm going to move my camera back because it's kind of in the way here. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, you know what? I haven't even had my beer since we came out here together. I gotta get on that beer real quick here, peeps. Yep. All right, so this one is just 2 bolts, and I think what I'll do is take the bottom harness right there. It just wants to automatically go up to it. These ones, they got like a little trough. You got to match it up to like a round guide, and all you do is once you got it mated up there, you just basically got to turn this lever and it'll lock it in there. So I can do this with one hand, hopefully. So put it in there, push with my thumb against it, and then just, come on, don't make a liar out of me. That's the right one. There we go. One hand. Boom. It's in there. Now, probably gonna just use my left hand, slide it down into the hole of the bracket, lift the whole thing up in the air, get my 10 mil with my extension, put it on there. Okay, make sure it's on there. Guide it into the hole. You'll feel it snap. Always do it with your fingers, nice and loose. Don't just wrench on it. You'll strip those threads easy. And if it doesn't go within the first 2 or 3 turns, you're gonna feel it right off the bat. So before I tighten that one, I'll put this one in over here, just to make sure that I can get it in. And we'll tighten this one down. And well, you know, it would have been nice if I actually. Oh damn! Is that camera lens dirty? I apologize. It would have been nice if I put the belt on first. I'll figure it out. Anyway, tighten this guy down. Boom. Oh shit! No! Oh. This is it, folks. This is real world. I don't mess around. I don't pretend. I don't edit and pretend like I don't drop stuff, because everybody drops stuff. It's just, do you have everything you need to recover it? All right. Oh golly Moses! I see it. So that's the battle's going to be just trying to get this thing. Come on. There we go. Battle's just going to be trying to get this thing out of there. There we go. We're winning. We're winning, folks. Take off my extension and go up here to get this guy. Before I put those wires in, though, I am going to put the belt on, because the wires just kind of get in the way. We'll see. Boop. All right. Now let's put this one. Don't forget the AC line that you, well, if you did it like me, undid. If you, I'll tell you what, it's a good thing. It's kind of good to put your hardware back in the hole that it came out of, so you don't lose it. Or B, you can stage it in a sequence depending upon the job you're doing. If you have faith that you're going to just mix it all up, just little baggies, little snack bags, little tiny ones that only hold like 4 freaking pretzels. Those things are really nice. You can just label them, have your wife, girlfriend, son, daughter, grandma, whoever's helping you, just take it off, say low pressure bolt. low pressure AC line bolt, and then you'll be good. So I think that's it. You always want to do a double check. So alternator's good. I got all my connections on. I got I'll call it the traction or TPMS sensor module is probably what it is. I will have to put, oh, let me get my coolant reservoir and put it over here so I don't forget, because I would forget that one. Okay. Still. There we go. Okay. So, what's next on the agenda? I think it's going to be put the belt on, and once I put the belt on, I'm going to put the cover for the timing belt back on. I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so you can see the fun part now. This is the painful part. Okay, so let's get the belt. Now, it's very important that you make sure the grooves of the belt are on the grooves of the accessory drives, because the pulleys, because if they're not on there, you start this thing up, you could skip a belt, you know, or skip the teeth and screw up your teeth there. What's going on here? Why can't I get this bad boy underneath here? Oh, I can't get it. Huh? What's going on? Damn it. See, fun stuff. I left the belt on, thinking that it was gonna just perfect to put it back on, and it looks like I might have got it stuck underneath. I'll try and take this whole thing off here, because this just ain't working out. Huh. I don't even know. How did I do that? Really suck if I... Oh shit, there we go, there. Oh, I heard something fall. I wonder if it's that missing nut that I dropped. Okay, so there's that. So this whole thing is basically wrapped around the bottom of the AC compressor. And there we go, I just got it out. Okay, so, like I was saying, make sure that you got the teeth of the belt lined up with all the teeth on the crankshaft pulley and the AC compressor, and then obviously the alternator, because you don't want them to skip over and jack up your threads. I shouldn't say threads, I guess it's your ribs. Alright, so basically, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so if you look at it, you can see it's not off like that. It's perfectly aligned. It's on there. The backside's good. Down there, it looks good. On the bottom, I can feel it. My AC compressor, you can see it, I think. Hopefully you can see it. It's good, and the belt is also on the alternator right here. So now I'm going to just kind of, there we go, spin it by hand, and it actually will pull all the way across all the surfaces. So it should be good. Now, I'm going to try and see if I can show you guys how to do this gracefully. If you can see it. Can you see it? That's the question. Yeah, that's the question. Alright, so let's see if you can see it. Alright, so I have the Allen key in here just locking it in place. I'm going to pull up with my right hand. You're probably not going to see this when I'm doing it. I'm going to put the closed end of the 14 mil on the nut on this tensioner. And for those that don't know, it's a reverse thread, so you're actually not loosening it when you're doing this. But I'm going to pull it up, pull at that Allen. Pray to God everything works. And be careful when you do this so you don't snap your fingers by any means. Okay, where's the Allen key? It's going to be right here. I think I'm going to come around this side. Yeah, there we go. Let's come up. I might actually move this thing down right there. There we go. Pull out the Allen and release the tensioner. Careful your fingers. Down below. It's a lot of pressure. Just release slowly. That should be good. Now, I think before I actually button everything else up, I'm going to try to start it up and see what happens. So let's plug this thing in because it's mad at me. And it's pretty good that this didn't fall into the engine bay when I started up. I'm going to put on my negative terminal. I'm going to go start it up real quick. Move my phone over here. Oh yeah, actually I'm not going to start it up because I didn't finish connecting this stuff right here. So let's do that. I think it was gray in the middle, I believe. Yep, and then green on top. And I think it fights you. It actually, you can't mix them up, I believe. I had that battle yesterday, so that's good. Put this little thing in here. That's in there. Okay. Let's see if it squeaks anymore. Oh, success. Success. That was awesome. I mean, you're only in 30 minutes? I mean, I know you watch a lot of other stupid videos on YouTube longer than 30 minutes. So for any of you that really want to know how to put this thing in, I'm probably going to do very minimal editing. Again, do it all at your own risk. Anything happens to your car, it's your fault, not mine. I'm not certified ASE or nothing, so it is what it is. But I'm going to button up the timing belt cover right there. I'm going to secure my battery terminal, and then I'm going to clean up my tools. I'll put my reservoir back, clean up my tools, and then that's pretty much going to be it. So if you guys got questions, I can try and help out. But hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see what the next one is. Until next time, guys, take care, rock out, fix cars.